Hello, everybody. It's the Nitty Professor, and I wanted to talk to my son today about a pair of whites that he received for Christmas. Let's see what you got. Show us the goods.
They were to me and from me, and I bought an Oxford, a lace-to-toe model, complete with a lineman patch and this chonky sole. It looks specifically chonky, as I keep referring to it, because it's got an extra half a midsole in here. If you can see this line up the back, it's essentially two midsoles of thickness and only one in the front. I think they call it a half slip. So it's got a lot of support.
And is that the main reason for all of that extra support, or is it for the look?
Part of it's definitely the look.
Yeah.
I think some people want in the heritage world to have this just platform under their feet.
Okay.
But it'll also offer, I think once it breaks in a lot, it'll feel quite supportive and comfortable. But it will take some doing. Obviously, I can't hardly bend them myself yet.
Feels like a rock.
I point out with shoes like this, when I put my Knicks on for the first time, I went down to kneel on the balls of my feet, and I didn't move the shoe. The shoe pushed me off the floor when I tried to kneel that way. These will be like that too.
So is this a build that you designed, or how did this build come into being?
This is just the lineman configuration with how the uppers are stitched together and everything. The panels, I guess you'd say, are in a slightly different shape and sewn a different way compared to the average boot because the laces come down so far. I did not customize it, and I got these from the Division Road website.
Is it a collab?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it's been out for some number of years, but never really sells out, so
okay.
It was still available.
So it wasn't made to order, it was ready
That's
to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Ready made. I just selected the size and pushed buy it. And I got it in this is a Chromexcel leather. They advertise it as burgundy Chromexcel, but I am inclined to believe it is truly color 8 Chromexcel.
Okay.
Because I've got a shot leather Perfecto motorcycle jacket in the same leather, which is indeed color 8 Chromexcel.
I'm intrigued with this construction because it almost looks like, I'm not sure where the vamp starts and ends, and we have, the lace area, but this is sewn on, and there's like a seam or a junction here under the kiltie.
Right. If you removed the kiltie and looked up the instep, you would find a sort of a shape like this that kind of curves around the top, where this seam continues and sews itself onto the gusset inside.
I'm gonna unlace it so we can look inside.
Might take some doing, but you can get in there.
Just loosen it.
I think Division Road realizes that they are somewhat overbuilt, I would say. Especially that it has a lineman patch when it's obviously not at all designed for linemen to use this boot.
So if we kind of look at the tongue here, what do they call it? Gusseted all the way up. It's got a gusset going all the way up. And no speed hooks, but I suppose on a shoe, a speed hook would be unusual.
Right. And to be honest, I've never seen a speed hook this low across the foot on any boot.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So this tongue is obviously, there's a lot of leather there, but it just folds so that it's symmetrical down there.
Pretty much when I've been wearing them so far, that's how it's gone, is just straight down either side of my foot. It's not like, I'm sure you've detailed your issue with the Indian motorcycle boots from Red Wing and how you're not quite sure how to fold it right to get it to fit. And I don't think you would have that struggle with this shoe because there's not a whole lot of folding to do.
That's kind of nice, really, I think. And would you ever not wear the kiltie with it?
I think so. I think I may not. I just threw it on there because I like how it looks. And I'm used to breaking in boots of this sort of thickness with kilties. It's how I broke in my Knicks. And also we mentioned on the Knicks video, I've got a pair of Red Wings where these sides of the shoe, because of the volume of my feet, come almost touching, and I think having the kiltie in there adds just enough volume to make it a little bit more comfortable and allow me some more customization with the tightness of the laces too.
I'm intrigued with this heel construction because you've got all this stitching like right there. I'm not sure I've ever seen that, but maybe it's because it's a shoe.
Right, and that would normally be, up here if there was a shaft.
Right. And there's like stitches going. It's the seam is right there. It's not like it's a hole cut or something like that.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah.
So hopefully that won't cause any irritation. But
I don't think so. I haven't felt it so far, even when I've been wearing them a little bit. And of course, that there's a considerable amount of heel slip because it just won't comply just yet.
would you? I mean, to me, this looks like just a 180 welt, right? Because it stops here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Stops. I've never seen that before.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but then I've never seen a shoe like this because it just looks like the rest of the stitching is for the midsole with the two layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're stitching the two midsoles together, where it's got, what did you call it? A slip sole?
A half slip,
Half-
I think,
half
is how
slip.
they market it.
Yeah. And so I'm guessing that on the inside, it's probably nailed down.
I must imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that they've Division Road has made this configuration in a couple other leathers before. There was I think a rough out like distress leather from White's, and a black Chromexcel and a navy Chromexcel that doesn't have the lineman patch, I don't think.
Okay.
But White's actually has a series of 4 YouTube shorts on their YouTube channel that shows somewhat briefly actually all the steps in constructing this specific
Oh,
model.
really?
So
It's a lot of hand construction,
yes,
right?
that was one of the things that I really appreciated about this model and why I ponied up the dough for it, was that it is actually hand welted for a lot of us quite laboriously. It's probably the most handmade shoe I've got now, or boot.
Yeah.
And
Is it the most expensive?
Yes.
Really?
These cost, I think, $785 on the Division Road website. Before that, my most expensive was probably the Knicks, which were
They were six
around
something.
$520, something like that.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think it'll take you to break these babies in?
I think these will take a while based on the sole alone, the sole construction.
How's it been going so far?
pretty-
How many hours have you put in them?
I opened them up yesterday morning, so
3?
maybe 3.
Yeah.
I was wearing them around the house. The first time I had them on, I had them tight enough trying to, get the break-in started.
Right.
That my left big toe ended up a little numb after an hour or two, and that was when it was time to take them off and put them on later.
Yeah. So you don't want to push yourself too far.
No,
Take your time. It's a good thing it's not your only pair of shoes.
that's true. Thank goodness.
But what's the main purpose that you got these for, apart from they're cool?
So I started a job in the past year where it's not very practical for me to wear heavy lug sole boots that I like to wear, that I feel comfortable wearing, because I not only walk a lot all day on carpeted floors that don't really require such a sole, but I walk quite briskly. I have to keep up a good pace at my work. I do between usually 10 and 12 miles in a day.
That's crazy.
Almost all on carpet. So I wanted something that had a crepe sole, a wedge sole,
Okay.
and also something that in this seemingly eternal discussion of should you wear boots with shorts, something that would look more like a shoe but built like a boot that I would wear with shorts at work.
Okay.
So the combination of the sole, the robust feeling of boots and heritage goods that I'm used to, the lower cut, on top of all that, it's kind of cool that it has a lineman patch. I don't need that, of course. I think it's kind of a neat addition, especially when it has that extra panel with the eyelet that comes up. But for a while, I've been wanting, 1, a pair of Whites, and also 2, a lace to toe model, which I've not had.
Are these made right in Spokane?
I have to imagine.
Yeah.
I don't see how it would be any other way, honestly. And I think Division Road is out of Virginia, West Virginia, somewhere.
Origin,
around there.
USA. It says it right there.
That's right.
What about sizing? So if somebody wanted
Oh.
to get these shoes, what would they want to look for as far as relation to the Brannock size?
So for me, my true size is a 12B men's US on the Brannock scale, and these
It's
are
crazy my feet are that much wider than yours.
Yeah. My pair here, I got a 10.5 D. I don't think they offer any other widths. It's all D widths, and they have half sizes all the way up for a good range of sizes. But I went back and forth extensively with the Division Road customer service woman,
Okay.
Lauren, who was extremely helpful.
Good customer service.
Right, I received an email about, tell me how all your other boots fit and how often you wear those, how often you've had them. And I made quite a long email where at the end of it we decided that going down a whole size and a half from my Brannock size would be best. And I think it worked out well because out the box they feel just right, honestly.
I have to point out here, it's kind of interesting because it says Burgundy number 8, but then on the stamped label it says Burgundy.
That's funny. I had not noticed that. But like I was saying earlier, it is. It appears it is a Color-8 Chromexcel then.
Yeah, it should be Burgund. So on
silly whites.
Burgundy. I don't know. It might have been.
Maybe they'll see this video and realize they're
non-American person who labeled the box, but the white label stuck on there is right. Burgundy CXL.
On the notably the 55 last, which I've not had a boot from before.
Okay.
Which was part of why I needed the sizing advice.
Yeah.
And also another thing I liked about these that I wanted is that I don't know if you can tell from the side much, but they have some pretty substantial arch support.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a big deal.
We mentioned on the Nix video the HMW moderate arch last from Nix that doesn't have as much arch support of leather just kind of stacked up on that section of the sole. But here in these, it is noticeable. It is going to take a while for me to break it in. I think it'll probably be one of the first things to break in, though, is that bump of arch support in it, the leather down there.
Right here. We should do some pull-up tests, too.
Yeah.
Show off the pull-up.
But I've heard online before the idea that it feels like when you first step into a pair of whites with that support, it feels like you're standing on a roll of quarters. And I don't think that is the worst analogy to make, because when you are standing for a while in the new pair of shoes, it feels substantial.
Okay. Yeah, I might have trouble getting used to that.
Right. I don't know how someone with flatter feet would fare with that kind of thing, but I think it'll accommodate the shape of my feet pretty well.
So we'll have to do another video in 6 months after you've gotten them broken in.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know when it'll start, but the ideal, the goal at the end here is that I can wear them all day at my workplace comfortably.
Okay.
And I don't know how long that will be, because obviously they're chonky.
We'll have to do some assessment on that and get a gauge on what to expect. It'd be interesting to see if any of my subs have experience with these shoes. Maybe you have some advice that could be, kind of useful. Let us know if you've used these and what your experience was. If you can make a prediction on how long it'll take my son to get these babies to where he needs them to be to wear them at work.
Yeah. I hope it's not too long.
Right, because they do look cool. What does your girlfriend think?
She was not a big fan. I stood by my purchase, though, because I wanted them there for me.
That's right. And
like I say, all the things listed off, it checked a lot of boxes for me. And it's something new. It's my first pair of whites, actually.
Maybe you can convert her.
Yeah.
You did get her the Red Wings.
I did get her the Clara boot from Red Wing, and she really likes it. Yeah. And wears it a lot.
So, we just got to keep sending the message.
To convert her.
Although, to be honest, I think I'm going to stick with boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with boots because I need the ankle support.
That's right. That doesn't really offer this.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And we'll keep tabs on the break-in progress. And again, if you guys have some experience, or gals, with these shoes, let us know. Y'all take care. Happy Boxing Day. Bye.